Hello and welcome back to Songs of Six. Welcome back, brothers. I won't lie, it has been a struggle. It's been a struggle. And I know people are probably like, well, quit your bitching, it's a video game. Quit your crying, it's a game. Why are you complaining? You're playing a video game? Yes, I understand. Thank you. But there has been a lot of struggle in this game right now, and to be quite fair, I've gotten very close to quitting on this city multiple times now, but I've pulled through. I bucked down. I dug deep for what it is inside me that makes me the fiend, and I pulled it out. And my spinal column, it was gone, and then I collapsed and I had paralysis, and I had to go to the hospital. But that stupid joke aside, we are doing okay. We stabilized the condition. I put my spine back in, and hopefully the spine remains and the city continues to last. Good lord, though, my god. So let me just begin with what is the problem. What is going on in the city? Why are the Tilapi struggling? Is it V66? Is it Tilapi? Is it me? I'm convinced it's a mix of a few things. So if I go and I click on these guys right now, they're at 90% happiness. That's pretty good. But they have 0.14 on the law. 0.14. So if I go in here and I go to government, it's because they have a 62% here. 1.2. Right out of 2. For some reason, this has been a challenge, and I've been told by people, oh, click this. This will tell you what the crime is. Okay, I know what the crimes are. There's this and that. I could pardon people. I've got 5 prisoners. I understand all of these details. The problem lies in this. Where is dipping? I don't understand. The arrest. They arrested somebody, so the rate goes down. You can see it at the bottom there. They didn't arrest anybody here, but it's gone down. So there's a rate here. It looks like they missed 2 people here, right? And it goes down, 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 down. I don't understand that. When I literally have a guard post at like every corner, I have no workers. I can't afford to get more workers. I can get more people, but the more people I get, the more guards I need, the more massive guard posts. I have a lot of these. I have one here. Look at this coverage here. There's 8 people covering this zone here. Just this area. Then I also have one over here. So he's in here as well. I don't know if law is to the point where you literally need to have it. Like, I'll put one there, I guess. I have no clue. I have no clue anymore where and what and how many law buildings I need, how many guard posts I have. I have one here. I have one in front of each of these buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them of the medium size. I have a large one down here. I have one over here. Actually, 2 big ones over here. And an additional one I put over here. Pretty sure I placed one. Yep, I placed one little one right in there. So I've placed them throughout the city. But at the same rate, I still am struggling with law. It's telling me that I have crime problems, that I have too much crime. People are pissed off. Obviously, right now, I'm okay. Right now, I have immigrants and aspiring immigrants. I can get people to fill these roles. But look, the problem lies in the fact that if anything, I lose roughly 30 to 40 people to an accident every other day. If I look in here, you see there's accidents daily. They are almost daily accidents. And I know people are saying, well, then you go and get a hospital. I didn't have the technology. I didn't have the people necessary. I didn't have any of the stuff necessary to get to the point. Now I have money and technology. I'm just going to put it all to work safety. But the problem isn't it the work safety. These people are actually getting slaughtered by these 2% accident rates. 98% chance that they go to work every day and they're okay, but there's that rare 2% chance that they hit and they just lose their goddamn minds and they all die. And then, yeah, so you lose tons and tons of people. Meanwhile, your food is dropping, which now I have it all stabilized, like I said, but this is stuff that I was dealing with. My food would drop all the way down to 0 on meat, and I'd have like 5,000 fruit. And then I'd switch what they are allowed to have, and I'd say, like, you can have fruit, and then have meat as well. And then the babies would start starving, because they were eating too much fruit. So I have these babies. I'm not even going to go over the shape of the city. This is just going to be specifically a griping video about Songs of Six. Because I gotta get it off my chest, I gotta get it out of my head, because it's tilting me. It's tilting me to play as Tilapi. If you are a player right now and you play as Tilapi, just be aware that even some of the veterans who've played for a long time are struggling. At least my end. Maybe I'm building my city completely wrong. Maybe I am doing it completely the wrong way. But I don't think so. I think that the worst part of my city and the most difficult part of my city is the exorbitant nature. We have a lot of janitors. I have 82 janitors. That's roughly 1/10 of my or yeah, like kind of close to like 1/10 of my population. That's a lot of janitors. I am willing to admit that there's plenty of janitors, probably who could be doing other things. These things are useless. These water pumps are useless. Yes, I understand that. But at the same rate, it shouldn't be like detrimental to my city where they collapse and then I have riots of 250 people, so they smash up all of these farms and then they start breaking down the pumps, and I've had that. I had that happen, and it was brutal. It was really rough, and eventually I slogged through it. I kept slogging through it. I kept pulling myself out of it. I quit, took a break, came back, and then decided that the events I needed to take was basically capture mats here and SOS. So I went and I captured mats. I went and I leveled them up so they are a small town, keeping them at this rate so that I don't have to expend more admin, and if I wanted to I could get another city. And we have them delivering us wood and opiates from SOS, and we have fruit and meat coming from this mats place here, and they are filling up our supply. But something that was driving me a little bit insane here is that if you were to go back 2 episodes, you could see that I have things like 2,000 carp furniture, I have 2,000 cut stone, I have thousands of pottery, thousands of other resources, right? I have to actually go back and lower these things in order to get those back in stock, but I still can't keep up with it. I have the exact same amount of workers working in the carpenter, or I did at least, and I still couldn't keep up with it. I had to lower it down because despite having more workers, the more and more workers I get, the more and more people I get, the more I have to put into guards. And then I have to build a new stage, and then I have to build a new this and that, this and that. And by the end, it's almost 50 to 100. Not even, it's over 100 guys. So right here, this is 20. Just 3 for that, and then there's 21 here, so that's roughly 50 guys. Then we have 13 here, 7 here, that's about 70. You have this guy here, that's 82. So you're really quickly 85. You really quickly start to add up to 100 people, and then you're out of workers, and all of them are working services. So it's crazy to me that the services don't go further than they seem to sometimes. Like, for example, that's not enough. You need to have 4 or 5 or 6 barbers. You need to have bigger and better bathhouses, more bathhouses for the population. You need to have more and more physicians. And at a certain point, I understand this is the core mechanic of a city builder. I've played them before. This is not my first time. But it's just become so cumbersome. There's too much to do. So there's 6 guys, 7 guys, 13 guys here. 12 guys, actually. And then you have these guys, 18. That's 18 people working in these buildings. Those then need to be copied over. I need to copy this one and this one over and put it onto the other half of the city where there's more accidents, like in here. For example, there's going to be training accidents at the archery range, so I'm going to need to have a hospital in here, as well as a physician near the people who are living in this area so they can access the physician quickly. That's another 18 laborers, so I let in 18 more people into Cartman Land. And all of a sudden, I need to hire 15 more janitors. to maintain the space that they're taking up, and then I need to get more stages because they don't have access to the stages. It's becoming quite a nuisance. It's becoming quite a nuisance. So basically what I try to do is I focus on the things that I think will help me the most. So for example, you see the hospital. It looks like hospitals are a really easy one to deal with because as long as the hospital is there, I think if I go and click on the hospital, the services on a hospital are different to the other types. So as long as they have the fruit or the opiates and the fabric and people are able to be saved, they will be happy. I'm not quite sure though if I haven't had it so that if somebody dies because they bled out, like they'll lay on the ground and they bleed out and they'll die. I don't know if that will count towards it like law, or if they just die and that's you lose a guy. But if they do go to the hospital, they're happy that they went to the hospital. I hope that's the case because I really need better services all the time. I need to see this one at 100. Physicians I can deal with. I can easily just copy this and put it on the other side because there's a good amount of services. 12 is, it's saying 12, but if you think about it, you only really need to see the doctor like once a year. So that's not a problem. My biggest complaint mostly is with the guards and the guard posts and the amount of people that you need for that. Speaking of which, stockade, there's 13 guys. You know, you have your 4 turnkeys working at the prison and you have a slaver as well. So these are, and 2 executioners. These are all taking up huge amounts of laborers. There's 18 times, so there's fucking 36 guys that live here, work here. And I know, I'm blabbing, I'm complaining, I'm bitching, but it just drives me mad because I was having a good time as the Dondarians and as the humans, and I even have a side city where I play as them, and I'm not stressed out. I don't get tired of playing as them. I don't get miserable trying to put services in because I could literally just put a small service. I could put market, food stall, and then an arena and a stage and a thing, all of it like on a line, and they're happy. They're happy as they can possibly be. Even Dondarians are happy to have noises. There's more that makes a Dondarian happy in the game than there is that make other races happy, which seems counterintuitive because they're supposedly harder to please. I don't know. But that's just me bitching. I think it's time for me to move on from that though. If there is an issue with the next couple episodes though, you guys will likely not see the end of Caannibalonia. I will try to start a new city, maybe a Mevians, but I'd like to continue. I'd like to give this one a real go. But I think the biggest issue for me is that I'm too friendly with my neighbors here. I can't really expand, and the reason why I build on the corner is so that I had the option of having just one road through the city and then having my back to the wall. Obviously that didn't work out for me. But let's go over kind of what I've done and kind of exactly what I'm trying to do with this city. We've got our meat coming in from the regions in the world, Matt's the region, and they're filling up this building here. So whenever there's meat, it gets filled up here. Then the livestock as well. The fruit gets brought down this main road all the way to this building. So we have fruit stockpiles here. Obviously the fruit is just being stored right now, and then there's haulers who will come and they'll grab it and they bring it straight to the front of the markets. So there's a hauler here and they keep it stocked so that the market always has food. But if you wanted to do it in a further place like over here, I do have a specific building just designed for that. Let's actually change that so there's more people. They are specifically a warehouse for grabbing fruit and meat. So this market here and this vendor, food stall has what he needs. The market should be okay, technically. I probably should build him an actual, or just edit this one here and give him the resources he'd like, but it seems like he's got a good amount of what he needs. But we did that. I went and continued expanding. I think, yeah, I built the paper maker. So I built the paper maker and this warehouse for wood. So we have tons of space for wood to get put into the city as well. When the shipments come, they're going to be coming and delivering wood. So it's going to get placed in here and in here and here. So hopefully these warehouses will be flowing to the top. I want to see them like topped off. Then I went over here. I don't know if it's finished yet. Yeah, it's not finished yet. We could speed up time and actually watch it get finished. We have a training ground. So I learned something. I realized something that was a little frustrating. I didn't have a training ground, and these troops had lost their melee training. And I was trying to send them out into the world to fight for me. But the problem was that they wouldn't. So only 1 or 2 or 3 of the troops would actually make it to the world army because none of them had their melee training available. So if you have a thing like I did where I took away a training ground, it's not likely to happen. Just be aware that if the troops aren't trained up to that specific thing and they can't get to that training, they will just sit in your capital and do nothing. And just hang around and do absolutely zilch. So yeah, that happened to me. It was kind of annoying. And as you can see, the biggest issue for me right now is stone, and I've been trying to get more and more Garthimi. If I look at my population, I have 68. They die at an astonishing rate. I lose a lot of Garthimis all the time. It feels like I buy 50 at a batch, and then I look back and there's only 50 left. So they die at an exorbitant rate. I can't keep them in the mines for long enough to actually gain the value from them. So it's been an uphill battle. I feel like Sisyphus or whatever his name is, the guy is pushing the boulder up the damn hill from the Greek mythology there, because good lord, I have been just struggling against my own. I've called this hubris city, basically. I built too big and too grand, and now I'm struggling with the grandness of my city, and I have to basically accommodate for that by trying to give them access to better and more services. You can see that they have the hospital still is pretty good. Everything is good, so all they need now is a tavern and a massage parlor. Tavern's going to be a fun and interesting one because I'm going to need to get pottery, but as the Tilapi, we should have access to the upgraded wine. I think straight away you can automatically get the, it's called Chalor or Schmalor, I think. What is it called here? Chalet or Shade. So this one, I believe, literally just takes fruit and pottery, as well as coal. So instead of grain, it'll take fruit. And we have plenty of fruit, so we should be able to make Shade. But I'm not sure if they can just drink that straight. I think they need the, there's a name for this one now too, Piva. Piva is the main type of drink. So if we build the tavern, we'll probably build it in here. We're gonna need to get both types of drinks. I might be wrong though. I haven't tested the tavern enough to actually know. I haven't tested enough of anything in this game really, and there's just so much more and more getting added. Kind of miss the old days when we used to just have the, I forget what it was. Yeah, it was the canteen, and then there was like a little food place, food building, and then we've changed over to the food stall. It feels strange that we've gone so far in such a short time. But yeah, that's all my bitching that I had inside me, and I appreciate y'all for watching and putting up with it. I know it's not everyone's bag of tea here, or whatever you want to call it, cup of tea, cup of joe. But sometimes I get frustrated, and I think it's valuable for people who watch to actually know that it's not just them. If you're getting frustrated in this game, or if you've been having a hard time, V66 is definitely one of the hardest, more buggy experiences of Songs of Six. And somebody made a good point in my Discord that yes, it is an early access game, so I have to give it a lot of leniency. You kind of get to this false sense of it's a great game, so this is what needs to be done, and it's a hard mentality to get out of, and you definitely don't want to catch yourself in it all the time. But I'm aware of the fact that this is definitely a one-man team, and you gotta give Jake some time. I think that the next update he's going to have, V6-7, is going to be a lot more streamlined, because he's basically turning V6-7 into V6-6, but just all of the updated stuff that he needs to do. It seems like he's polishing off everything, and he's been in a work mode for a while. So I wish that man good luck. I wish you all the best. If you guys see a change in schedule for videos, I'm sorry. For those who love Songs of Six, I plan to do more and more of other types of games, whether it be Bannerlord. I have some plans for 7 Days to Die, a few others. And I know I always say that, but this is actually the truth this time, because I won't lie. I've been playing songs for so long that I'd rather not burn myself out on it and kind of ruin the experience. So I think it's important for me to get a break from it for a little bit. So there'll be a lack of series for a little bit, play some different games. If views tank, they tank. If they do well, they do well. But like I always tell people, I'm not in it for the money, I'm in it for the fun. And sometimes I'm having fun. Right now, at 6, I'm not having the most fun. But I am pleased with the city's appearance. So it's kind of a weird bag where I'm happy with the direction of the city. It's one of the most beautiful cities I've ever created. Especially this. I love this, and I don't feel like I can just take this piece and put it into another city without feeling like I'm copying this one. But I probably will. I probably will copy this and make better, bigger designs, kind of reminiscent of this original design here. Because I think that Songs is definitely more of an RP game than it is a management game. And that's where I get kind of frustrated, because I think a lot of the hardcore 6 players want to see this game become number management, like looking at every single thing and being like, okay, this workload is exactly at 69%, so I have to get it to 420%. And no, I don't play games like that. That's not how I play my city builder. I like to see the building get done. I see the numbers rise. So if we have this, all good, okay? So I can move on to the next thing that I want to see rise. Eventually, I yawn. Wow, that was a big old yawn there. Eventually I yawn and I fall asleep. No, I'm kidding. But no, for real. The game for me is more about this. Like, I'd like to get to a point where it's beautifully large and I can just go over it. And that's where it's a great YouTube game, and it's hard to find other games that are similar to this game. But I expect to do different games altogether. Even if they're not within the same vein, I do plan to do them. But enough of that talk. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Goodbye.